Hello? Gonna wait for just a moment to see if someone comes in. Hey, Mary. Hey, Chris. Can you guys hear me? Hey, Marissa. Happy Friday to you, too. Okay. Um, I have a lot that I need to get done. But so I'm just gonna work in till I get it done. These are the Junker's Path quilt blocks that I was working on my last live, and I need to go ahead and get as much done with that as I can. I've got a quilt I need to load on the long arm. I don't know if I'm going to load it today. I have some embroidery that I need to do. So I'm just going to work it as I get to it. I started to go ahead and have a pattern stitching out on the multi needle, but then I decided that it was going to be too loud for um, to be going in the background here. I don't have all of the gadgets and stuff to reduce the sound and all of that. So I'm just going to go ahead and get as much of the quilt done or until I get tired of it, and then I'll move over. I have about 3 different mama designs. 4 if I include the one Patrice did. I have some mama designs that I want to stitch out as samples. I have some beanies over here, and I have some kitchen towels, and I may end up doing some of the kitchen towels on my single needle machine, especially if it's like maybe 2 colors to it. But that's my plan. Y'all know I'm not good at keeping up with the chat and doing the live and working at the same time. So there may be times when I'm not saying anything, I'm just working away. But I needed to come on and do this because those of you who do it know that it will motivate you. I needed something to get me going. And doing this is almost like I'm hanging out and working with friends. My lighting is not the best for filming. I had another little lamp on that I like on my machine because it helps me see the machine better, but it was making the lighting even worse. At some point, what I would love to do is I would love to take this one and just have it like up high, doing an aerial view pretty much of the room, and then just have a couple of different little cameras in significant areas. Because for me, I don't have to sit here and be looking at the screen, if especially if I'm doing a work with me, because I've got so much work I need to do, and there are times that I'll be moving around the room. I have a shirt that I need to redo for somebody. She contacted me and told me that she had it done, um, and she took the shirt to the cleaners, and when they got back, they had messed up the vinyl and stuff on it. So she asked me to redo that one for her. And I mean, she's paying for it. But then she also told me that yesterday that she was checking on something that she might have another shirt for me to do for her too. But she's pretty good about getting shirts done from me. For any of you who watched my live before, I got my hex keys done so I can get over there and see what I need to do for my rug tufting gun. I haven't done anything else with it since that night, but I finally went ahead and got the hex keys so I can loosen up the scissors and make them work. Hi, Valerie. Thank you for coming in and joining me. And yes, I dropped it in the floor. And I'm at that level where instead of bending down and picking stuff up, I use something like this. I guess I should say for anybody who just came in, or for all of you who don't know who I am, my name is Linda. My company is, and my channel is Uniquely Done. I do all things crafting. I sew, I embroider, I knit, I crochet, I cross stitch. I haven't done it in a while. What is it?
Fixing your light.
Oh, okay. It's good to have children who know what they're doing. My baby just came in. She's want to fix my light for me. There's one right there. If you look to you, do you think that'll help?
Yeah, you need this. You go ahead and go.
Okay. You know, I think that did help some. I actually probably need a better light coming from this area or something over this way, but okay, thank you. That one, for some reason, you have to unplug it to turn it off. This one is still where you can do the touch. It's kind of gold looking cord. Okay. What I'm gonna start off doing is these are laying here because I need to pull them back apart. I need to square them all up, and then after I square them up, I need to put them together like this in sets of 4. And then after I put them in the sets of 4, then I'll be able to put them together the right way and finish putting the block together. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I was trimming, squaring up at the table, but I think I'm going to go ahead and just do it right here on this side of my machine. Then I don't have to stand and do it. Chris, I have had this for so long that I don't even remember where I got it. I think they have them in stores like Harbor Freight and everything. I probably got mine in a Walmart or something, but it extends, really far. Move my table, this little cart over and knock everything over.
You are a fire hazard.
Why am I a fire hazard?
You got all them plugs still.
I was going to say, did you turn that one on to see what the light looks like? It's not the best light to me. I don't care. Now,
for your face.
Oh, okay. I actually need to plug up. I need to mount another power strip right here. Ooh. Will it sit? Would it help if it was sitting right here behind where you were behind on the
Don't need to be behind you.
Okay.
I'll troubleshoot.
Okay. You go ahead. Do your thing. What are you guys working on? Chris said that light is a little better.
Mm-hmm. Just gotta get the right spot.
Huh?
Talk to myself.
I was trying to straighten up and put stuff away in the room earlier. And then I was like, why am I putting the stuff away? Because I'm going to have to turn right around and pull it all right back out because it's projects that I need to work on. So I just tried to make sure that there was nothing out that people didn't need to look at. Switch places with some of this.
Just be careful leaving your room.
Okay. You say dismantle everything before I decide to walk out of my room.
Is that in your eyes?
Oh, no. I'm okay. Oh. After she got through doing all of that, I guess I could have told her that there was a footstool over there that she could have used as a table to sit that light on. My bad. It has a blanket on it, so she didn't see that that was a footstool, I think. I have to square these up to 3.5 inches. I think I just knocked one down. Yeah, Chris, I had to get on because and find some motivation somewhere because I've got so much that I need to do. And then I even told myself that I want to attempt to do a quilt for each of my grandkids. And it's already, about the middle of November. The good thing about the embroidery, Chris, is that if Patrice and them are still planning to do embroidery this evening, well tonight, I know I can get back on while they're on, and while they're doing their embroidery and stuff too, I can go ahead and do some more of my embroidery projects. But I just needed to get started. And I know I don't have a camera over what I'm doing now, but that might be a good thing because I don't always do some of this the way it's supposed to be done. I do it my way to get the results, and especially since I'm doing it sitting down. And this ruler, I need to find a set of the little grippy things that I used to have on my bigger rulers because it slides on me. Either that, I need to go ahead and actually get some of the creative grid ones. The way they're made, they don't slide as much. But this one, without the little pads on it, it slides. I have a rotating um, cutting mat, but somehow or other, I've let it get warped. Yeah, I've warped my spinning mat. It does like this. It's, you can see the warp. I mean, it'll still spin. When it's laying on the table, it'll still spin. But it's just that I end up having to try to work right here, mostly in this area, because that creates problems. And I don't know how to unwarp it. And right now, I just cannot buy another one. No, because it doesn't have the little thing on it that it needs to spin. It was worth a try. I'm glad my baby came in here and looked at, tried to work on my lighting. She's actually at work. She works from home. Chris, I thought about the hot water, and then I thought about the taking it and like hitting it with my heat tool to see if that would help do anything. But I haven't tried doing anything with it. And I think it got warped because at one point I didn't have it laying down. I think I had stuff pushed away and everything, and I wasn't using it. And it was kind of like standing on the end or something, and then it just got the bow in it from then. I think that's what happened to it. I'm about ready to just draw my chalk lines on here and square this up with scissors. Let's see. Smooth out this edge. See, I don't like all the moving that it does. And to give it the right amount of pressure, I'm probably going to have to stand up. I believe that's the way I'm going to do this. I really don't like doing the small pieces. That's why after this one, I think a lot of what I might do might be half square, half the half square triangles. And when I do those, they're going to be the so-called cheater method, where you sew the whole square together, do your different stitches and stuff, and then cut them apart. And when you get finished, you have 8 sets of half square triangles, instead of having to sit there and cut all of those and sew them on the diagonal and stuff like that. That's not for me. No, I'm bored. Let's see. Thank you, Bree. Um, I mean, I'm not exactly doing a tutorial, so that's why I'm not talking through through what I'm doing. I'm just sewing. Do this so it's not just all on me. think I like that better than it just being me all up and close. I have to look at this one to see which way they're going, unless I pull it back up on my iPad. I did that right. I think I need to pull this back up, the design back up, to be sure I'm placing these all going the right direction. It's not going to be big at all, Valerie. I think it's going to be from the measurement that I kind of calculated. I had it on a piece of paper right here. I think it's going to be like 44 by 44 by something, because it's going to end up being, it's like I'll do the 4 together like this to get a block, and then you'll end up doing 4 blocks together. But the it ends up looking like, let's see, that one, that one, and then pretty much the flip side of it. So you'll end up having almost like a little X path. And when I was looking at them and I was looking at the different options that you could do, Chris was on a video call with me, and we were sitting there and we were like, we like that one. And then I was thrilled because after I looked back through it, the layout that I'm doing is one of the patches is one of the designs that's on one of the Underground Railroad quilts. It's one of the ones, I think the message implied in it is for you to go back one step. So as as the slaves were making their trip across the country to freedom, if they came across a quilt hanging out that had that symbol on it, they knew to go back to where they had just come from. So I was really thrilled when I discovered that the design that I liked and decided to stick to was one of the ones, because I would love to do the research and do an Underground Railroad quilt. You can, if you look close, you can see the difference in size. This one is a little larger than this one. And that's because I ended up doing this one before I squared up the blocks. And after looking at it, that was when I was like, no, I need to go ahead and do those the right size. So this one's got to come back apart so that I can square it up before I put it back together. But that's it. And this is gonna be, yep. So this ends up being a 6.5 inch. It's 6.5 inch square. So then you'll put 4 of the 6.5 inch squares together here. And the way mine turns out is I think I have I think I'm going to end up with like the 4 and the 4 and 4 here. So that's why it's not going to be a really big quilt at all. And I think I'm doing it mostly so that it'll pretty much be a wall quilt, just a wall hanging. Okay. I am not an expert quilter, so my 1/4 inch seams don't be 1/4 inch seaming all the time. I get out the design that I need to get out, and then sometimes I might have to trim it up in other places to compensate for where I got off just a little bit. But I like that one. I'll end up ironing the seam open. Two. Yeah, I talk to myself while I work. Gotta pin this up in front of me. You want them to see all my bad sewing. Is that better? Um, Let me put a clip on this one so I can hang it up in front of me. You coming in?
It's not good.
See what it is it's this. I do have an over the table
You can't just zoom in.
arm.
That's what
I do
was
have
thinking.
an over the table arm, but I've never used it before, and it's laying right there. But baby's coming to the rescue again. Hey, Marilyn. Do I need to shimmy?
Wait, is this what's on your work?
Yeah, that's the one that's on the table.
Okay, there's a delay.
Cause see, I have this that I could have put it on, but if it sits on the table, it's gonna rock when the machine sews.
Don't worry about it. I got it.
And I didn't know if putting it right there would have helped. Guys, my baby's trying to help me again. I have other little tripods and stuff, but I'm working on learning my placements and stuff because I would love to be able to place them in strategic places in the room and leave them there. Do I need something on here so you can see? Are you looking at it on your phone?
To see if I got it in a good spot. You just keep going.
I was gonna say this light right here in front of my eyes is killing me now when I look up. But it's fine. Okay, let me get those. Trim up a few more. The logical way to do this would have been to do what I was doing before, which is I was going to square up all of them and then sit down and sew. But I got kind of lazy. Let's see.
I don't know if I just made it worse.
Oh, really? Yeah. Now it loosens under the bottom if you need this will actually come all the way out. Would it have been better to just completely put another tripod right there? Or that white clip on?
so hot in here.
Mm-mm.
That might be as good as it's gonna get.
Thank you.
Yeah, there we go.
I think she feels like she super has to help because I had told her I was thinking about going live today, and her response was, "You are going live today," like she's the boss of me or something. I didn't fuss because I really did need to go live. What I want to do is I want to go ahead and get to where I can start doing, you know, videos and then editing them and getting them up because I have a few things that I would love to do as videos and not have to do them live. I mean, I may end up repeating some of the material on lives, but I would love to be able to do a video on like the tools that I use when I crochet. Um, I have my a whole bunch of different sets of knitting needles and different tools. I with my diamond painting, I have all kinds of tools and stuff. I have, you know, what comes with them, but then I've purchased my own special pens and stuff that I like to use. So I would love to sit down and be able to do a series of videos that are basically the tools of the trade. But I have to be able to edit videos to do that. It's the same. Okay. Oh, that's still the same one. Marilyn, Chris and I are gonna be ready tonight when they come on and start doing the embroidery. And we can't do any laser cutting, but I'll just embroider while they're laser cutting. I might end up having to stand up and square these up. Part of it is me being lazy, and then part of it was earlier today my legs were acting a little funny, and so I was thinking that maybe it was telling me I didn't need to get on them for a little while. I think it might be because my iron is a little low and I need to start back taking iron. But either way, it wouldn't be pretty for me to fall on camera. They're gonna embroider tonight, Chris. They really are. I believe it. They're not just teasing anymore. Okay, guys, don't come on expecting perfection now. I'm not a international quilt show um, producer type of quilter. I'm still learning. I'm not new at it, but I'm not proficient by any means. I just know the rules, some of the rules. I follow some of them. Glad I'm not doing this for a quilt show. Hey Cassandra, how are you? Um, I use So What Pro. I know Chris uses it too. I do have the free version of Embrilliance, but I think most of the time when I use Embrilliance though is when I'm because you can actually type the letters from the keyboard with their fonts. If I'm doing names and words and stuff like that, then a lot of times I'll use Embrilliance for that because with So What Pro, you end up having to drag and drop the letters, and it's quicker to type them in. But mostly I use So What Pro. I don't use it a whole lot. I'm not an expert on it or anything. Chris knows it a lot more. But So What Pro costs half of what Embrilliance costs. And then you can also download a free So What Pro too, I think, to use and decide if you like. I would recommend downloading the free version of both of them and then play around with them and then decide if you want to spend $65 or if you want to spend 130 something dollars. If you decide that you want to get So What Pro, Eve at the baby's booty has a link. Um, I think it sends you, to the same S&S computing website, but if it goes through Eve, I think she gets a little bit of something. I was watching something the other day and somebody mentioned ink stitch and I wrote it down. But ink stitch, I think, is a digitizer. The two that I was talking about, So What Pro and Embrilliance, are really not so much digitizing softwares. I mostly use it to like just put this design from here and add this design to it and then put a name, like when you're doing the kids t-shirts and stuff. That's mostly what I use it for. um, but I wrote down ink stitch because I was wanting to pull it up and look at it. Because see, I've had Inkscape for years. I never took the time to get really good at it, but I do have it. And when I saw the about ink stitch, I was wanting to pull it up and try it too. I'm not a digitizer. I just haven't had the patience to sit at the computer long enough to play around with it. I think Chris Smith, who's in here, has done a lot more with digitizing. You're gonna have to okay. And then come on tonight when Eve and Patrice are together, craftable things. They're coming on together tonight, and they're gonna do some laser cutting, and they're gonna also do some embroidery. And there'll be more people in the chat too who can answer questions. You're welcome, Cassandra. I'm actually having to relearn a lot of my embroidery skills because I mean I did embroidery like 20 years ago, and then I stopped doing anything with it. And then I saw all the new techniques and everything that was coming out, and I was looking at getting a new machine because my machine was like 20 years old. But I was watching Angela Jasmina when she was doing one of the applique shirts, and I was like, let me see, can my machine do this? And my 20-year-old girl hung right on in there, and she could do it too. But I did eventually get a 6 needle. Since then, I've had it about 2 years maybe. I haven't done a whole lot on it. So I'm still learning, relearning, and learning new embroidery techniques and stuff, and learning new stuff about the multi needle because I had never had one until a couple years ago. All of my sewing machines and sergers and the other embroidery machine, they're all Genomes. And then my 6 needle is a brother. I had looked at getting the Genome 7 needle, and I got impatient because I had an opportunity to get the 6 needle right then, rather than having to wait for the Genome to come. So I went ahead and I bought the brother used from someone who lives about 10 minutes from me. So I went ahead and got it. Excuse that. Ended up so much. Check back here and be sure I haven't sewn something together wrong. Y'all see I'm back to, hey Patrice. Y'all see I'm back to using the rotary cutter again. I I have to get it in. I have to do whichever one actually worked. Um Patrice, I've had to convince Chris that you guys are definitely doing embroidery tonight. Because we're planning to embroider along with you. She thinks we're going to have to wait until 2035. Yeah, I hope I haven't crossed these up and got some of the wrong ones going together. Because I hate using a seam ripper. No, Chris. I believe her. Patrice, I'm gonna try to have the keep God first, your design. I have my jacket. I'm gonna go ahead and try to get it put on the back of my jacket so that it'll be ready for when we do patches. See? I have my jacket. And I'm gonna try to put the keep God first here. You know, we'll see if it'll fit and try to have it right in here. And then it's going to be ready for all the patches and everything. I'm not sure if it's going to fit though, because I just noticed that there's a seam, the two seams. So I don't know if it's going to fit up in here or not. Let's see. It's 11 something. We'll see. I might have to play around with it, but I'm going to make it work. And the good thing is I didn't even have to go buy a jacket. I had this one in here, and at one time I started to put it in some stuff and take it to Goodwill. And then I decided not to. I went ahead and kept it out. And after Eve did the rhinestone wings on the back of that jacket, I've had that one pulled out to do something with it, and I just hadn't done anything. And I've decided that that's what I want. Is I want to do it and do the patches and stuff on it. Now, pocket, now Brie, that's my jacket. She has a black suit jacket that she's wanting her rhinestone design on. Now hers is hanging on the door with the cleaner plastic and stuff on it. Patrice, quick question. I'm having to do rhinestones on a jacket, and everything on it is just words. would it be better for me to try to find rhinestone fonts already done and try to do a word, or would it be better for me to get in touch with Dennis and have him to go ahead and lay out the design for me? If I need to use Dennis or somebody, that's fine, because the person who's I'm doing the jacket for is planning to have me do more of them, and she's willing to pay if she has to for me to pay for somebody to create the template and stuff for it, to create the design. And I was just wondering, would that be a whole lot easier? Because I think the design is going to end up having to be SS10s and SS6 combined. Yes, Miss Brianna, you knew I had the jacket, because once before, when I got ready to wear it way back, you talked about me in a jean jacket, and that's the reason I was going to take it to Goodwill to begin with. Okay. That was my thought too. Hey T, it's like the doing rhinestone templates. I can do some of them because I've done a couple of simple ones for like Bree, and then she had me to do one for this guy and stuff. But my preference, I'd rather just go buy the template already done by somebody else. Prove that it's slander. Patrice, it looks like I've got my own Delonda and she lives in my house. Next, she'll want to be the research department. Although I do need her to be the research department, I'm still waiting for her to do a design for me to put when I do my schedule, my lives and stuff like that. Even though I love this beautiful iris picture, I need something that's a little bit more appropriate. And she needs to do me an intro and a trailer for when I do videos. If I can get all of these squared and just the first seam in them, I'll be happy. I just need to get them off my table so I'm not looking at them every time I look at the table. I have so much work laying out in here waiting on me because I have like a stack of shirts here. Um One of them I'm supposed to put something on for Bree. Bree, which one is yours? This one? And then I have some sweatshirts to try mama designs on. I have the one I got from Patrice, and then Chris did me one that I'm gonna use to do the use a towel to do the faux chenille. Both of them. He's cheering. And then I have one that I'm gonna do just the simple embroidered mom. That's just the embroidered outline. I have one that's an applique, and I think I got both of those off of Creative Fabrica. And then I have the one that Chris did for me that I'm gonna do as the faux chenille, and then I have Patrice's. Hers has 5 layers to it, but I think I'm gonna only do 3. I might end up changing my mind after I start seeing what it looks like, but I think I'm only gonna do 3 layers with that one. And then on the other side of the table, I have a t-shirt that I have to do for another lady. I need to send it to the Cricut. Um, this is just a regular gilding. I got it. I think I got all 3 of these at I think I got all 3 of them at Hobby Lobby. This is just a regular heavy bling gilding. And then these 2 are jersey. Well, no, I didn't get these at Hobby Lobby. I got this one at Hobby Lobby. I got these 2 at Rose's. There's a store. If anybody has like a Rose's or a Maxway, then they'll know which store I'm talking about. It's along the lines of Dollar Tree, sort of. Kind of like maybe between Dollar Tree and Dollar General, kind of, sort of. It's one of those when you get shirts and stuff, you have to watch. You have to look for holes and stuff. And I see this one, they've cut the label, which means it's seconds or rejects from the company. I got these big enough for me, so one might have a mama on it, and the other one I might have to work out a Grammy and do a Grammy on it, and it'll be for me. But I just need to get some samples out there. It's yeah, that's over where Eve is, and I'm about 2 hours maybe from Eve. I just haven't really gotten on the website and looked. And with them being that close, there's a good chance that I would probably prefer to drive and pick it up. It'd give me a chance to hang out in Charlotte. I just got to I've got to get to going and get to doing. You're right, Chris. That was kind of like maybe hopefully the plan. If I were to contact her and let her know, hey, I'm coming to Charlotte. Want to hang out? Especially since I miss Bling Fest. Yeah, I'll be honest with you, with Bling Fest being that close to Charlotte, I started to go ahead and just come on to Charlotte Saturday afternoon, even though I wasn't going to be able to be in the Bling Fest, so that after it was over, I could meet everybody. That's what I really wanted to do. I really just wanted to meet people. It didn't matter to me if I did any blinging or not. And I started to do that. But at that point, when that occurred to me, I had already told my daughter that she could use the car because she and a friend were going to another friend's Halloween party. I didn't want to I didn't want to make it seem like I was trying to party crash or anything. So that's why I just ended up not even driving that way after all. goodness. Y'all, I thought it was a ghost in here a second ago trying to help me sew. My needle started moving. My foot's nowhere near the pedal. But I think what happened is I might have touched the end of the cord or something here, and it made it move. I scare easily. Well, Chris, I'll sew out the one that you sent me tonight so that um you know you'll know it's good and ready to go. But I don't foresee anything being wrong, it not stitching out right. I was gonna just stitch it out on just a piece of fabric, but I think I'm just gonna go ahead and stitch it straight onto a shirt. So you're saying I still should just sew it on some fabric first? Okay. Time is it? Is it for you? Oh, okay. I remember the outfit you're talking about. See, yeah. I don't know if I want to sit through 40,000 stitches twice. But how many colors? I think I messed that one up. Hmm. Is that the school's logo? My ruler moved and I cut that one just a smidgen too small. I think I'm gonna have to kind of like move it over when I sew it to keep from having to cut another one. Mm. Did you ever find out what that other one was? Because when you were talking about it, you couldn't remember what the last one was for. Oh, that never would have occurred to me if it was bowling. That's not all of them, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and cut these apart. Oh, that switched my lighting back. Go ahead and press the seams open. I'm finger press them right now. Instead of using my big iron for this, I'm just going to turn on the easy press and use it, the mini press. Christy, you used to use a clapper when you sew? I never used to, but then when I started, I've gotten to where I really like it when I do seams for quilting. Oops. I used to watch people sometimes, and I was like, and they were using it, and I was like, that don't make a difference. So I did finally order this one. I got this one off of Amazon a while back, quite a while back. And I had it for a long time before I ever used it. And then after I used it for the first time, I was like, they did have something going on. It does really flatten your seams out more. Because that is so, because there are a lot of thicknesses in there. And that has it so flat. And I can tell the difference because I didn't use the clapper when I did my curved seams. And I can tell the difference between the flatness of that one and the flatness of this one. think I may be on for about 30 more minutes. And I'm gonna go ahead and finish what I have going on here. And then I'm gonna take this one apart because it's got to be it's got to be squared up and redone. And then I may get off and get me something to eat, and then get my prep work done for the embroidery stuff that I need to do, so that um, when so that when everybody comes back on to do embroidery, I have my stuff ready and I'll be able to just embroider along. And while some of it is stitching out, I can come back to working on this. Because I think the towel designs that I want to do, I think, like I said, I might go ahead and set them up on my single needle and let them, because they're just flat. I don't have to worry about having to pin stuff back out of the way and watch it and everything. I'm wanting to get some towel designs done because we have a store here that sells a lot of linens and towels and stuff like that. That if I were to go ahead and get those out to where people could see it, I could possibly get orders from, and have a place real close by where I can go buy what I need and I don't have to worry about ordering. And that'll help with like getting Christmas stuff out. Ooh. So it was supposed to just stitch all gold, and you have it set to do a gold applique. Hmm. Oh, okay. I'm yawning like I need to go to bed. See what Marilyn was saying about my shirt. It keeps flashing off my machine and making me wonder what's that going on. And it's just the bling flashing off the sewing machine. Once I can figure out my lighting and my camera placement and stuff, I think I'll feel better about um, doing my videos and stuff like that. Chris, do you have one of the wool mats that you use for pressing and all too? I have one in my Amazon cart, and I've been thinking about getting one, but people keep saying that they stink. But almost every quilter you see has one. Ooh, okay. So that's what I need to do for the those jumbo Santas that I showed you that I have to do. I would love to be able to go in there and change all of mine to where it's only 6'3". Then I wouldn't have to worry about um any color changes and stuff like that. I don't have to have 5 shades of green. Okay. And it's thick just like the mats that they're pressing on, or you take it and you fold it and I could cut it up into make different ones. Okay. Yeah, I've had one in my cart for a while. Oh, okay. One of the reasons I hadn't gotten the one in my cart yet is because I saw one of one size that came with a purple the silicone iron trivet, but it wasn't the size that I wanted. And the size that I want has a pink um, iron trivet. And I've been trying to decide if I wanted to go and just get the one that has the purple trivet, and regardless of what size it is. That's so trivial. But I like for my stuff to match. I like for my tools to match. Chris, and you get those at like the feed supply stores and stuff? Cassandra, what size did you get? Okay. There's the one of the um tractor supply store here, and they possibly have one at the big Simpson hardware, but they're probably going to be pricey because it's like they upcharge everything. I'm so glad you ladies are hanging out with me. When I'm doing videos where I'm doing tutorials and stuff like that, I will talk more because I'm having to explain. But when I'm just working, I just work. Okay, Chris. Like, because I wouldn't mind looking at both options, going ahead and getting the one I have in my cart, and then also getting the blanket. Because see, then if I got the blanket, I could actually do uh, a bigger ironing station. Because when I like once I put the top together and everything, I'll need to be able to iron um the whole thing and like push it back behind it and get to the rest of it. So I would love to like get the blanket to actually make an ironing station. Right now, what I do a lot of the times is this folding table right here. I'll um, put some pads on it and I'll iron across it. I have an ironing board that hangs on that door right there, but it's needs to be hit. It needs to be on its way to the trash because it doesn't work worth a flip. 17 by 3, 13 and a half. I think that might be the size that I have in my cart. Brie, are you still on? Let's see which size I have in my cart. Okay. Did I move it out of my cart? Yeah, that's the size. Hmm. Oh, that's, yeah, the one with the purple. The mat is 17 by 24. And I really didn't want one that large, I don't think. And the 17 by 13 and a half has one has a red iron and the other one has a hot pink. Mhm. But I'll check out both options because, like I said, I want the blanket too to do a full size ironing table. Okay. Okay. I think I'm going to go ahead and get off. Um, like I said, I've got to get me something to eat, and then I've got to the AccuQuit that I have that I was using. I'm gonna run it to its owner. She has a lake house and she's planning to go out to her lake house. Um, and so she's wanting to take it with her. So I'm gonna go meet her and give it to her so I can get back here in time for the embroidery live. My tummy was trying to tell off on me for a few minutes. It was just a growling. I'm like, I sure hope the camera, The speaker's not picking that up. I I like certain types of I like certain types of seam rippers because like I just got through ripping that out, and I like the one that has the end on it like this, because then I can take it and go ahead and get all the thread out and not have to try to pick it out myself. So it's kind of rubbery and it just rubs it right on out when you have to do a big seam ripping. I'm glad you stopped by too, Cassandra. I'm gonna really work on trying to become a lot more visible because um I do a lot of different crafts and stuff, and then I have a lot of I guess I call it old knowledge, because like a lot of the things that you know it's still the same crafts from then, but they have all kinds of new ways of doing some of the stuff. And I mean, we learned to do it a certain way many years ago, and it still works. And sometimes it doesn't require all of the extra things that companies have you buying now. And so um that's what I like about doing it. That's why I was like, I have too much craft knowledge to just sit back on it. I mean, I'm 61. I've been crocheting for 50 years because I was taught to crochet at 10. Um, I've been actually sewing about that same amount of time. And, and then, like, I learned to quilt, but I learned to quilt by hand because my grandmother taught me to quilt. You know, we didn't do the nice, cute little pieces and stuff because when I learned to quilt, we were quilting because we needed some quilts on the bed because it was cold. So that was when I first started quilting. I first started out by hand. I have a few blocks up there from where I was following a block of the month, and I started out doing the blocks first as hand pieced, and I also have where I started doing them by machine too, following the same block of the month pattern because there were 25 blocks in it, and I never finished it. I started it before I moved um, here from Mississippi, and I've been here 17 years, so it's never been finished. Um, I've even lost. I think I have about half of them done, and I've got to search and see if I can even find the the block to know what the rest of them were. If I do come across it, I do plan to finish it. But I look at them and I see the difference between the hand piece and the machine piece. And even with my hand piece, I see where I started getting better at hand piecing. Because, like I said, we didn't do the little piece, and we just, you have these fabrics over here, or you have these shirts that they cut up, and you get you some big pieces and you sew them together and make you a block. And then we put the batting and the backing on it. And like for some of them, our batting were old quilts that had gotten holes in them, and we were just basically covering them up and reusing them so we could have quilts on the bed again. And Chris, that's where my most of my sewing came in. Was at that time I was so skinny. and I was so skinny and real short, and I couldn't find clothes to fit me. So it made me start having to sew my own clothes, you know. And then I got to another point where I got so big now that I can't find clothes that fit me right, because all of the companies like Lane Bryant and all of them think that everybody who's big is also tall. I'm 5 foot nothing, you know, and if you take a tape measure to me, I'm just as big around as I am tall. So that's an issue right there. And the clothes, I either have to cut everything off, or I have some pants now that I've been too lazy to cut off. And so when I wear them, I either wear a little bit of a heel, or I just walk on them. But yeah, that was another reason that I ended up sewing. But I just enjoy handling fabrics and stuff, and I enjoy working with my hands. Okay, I'm going to try to schedule coming back on some more. If I end up working on this some more, I may have to like set up a video, the camera up, and I just do a video. But if I manage to work it out, I might come on again before the weekend is over and do some more, because I would love to get this finished. I've even gotten the backing for it, so I have a solid purple that I'm going to use for the back. And I'm thinking about, when I quilt it, I'm thinking about winding. It's not going to be the metallic gold that's in these, but I think I'm going to use a gold on the bottom as the bobbin thread, because it's going to be showing up on all of that purple. But then, with me still learning how to use my long arm, I might need to use purple thread so the stitches will blend in and not show just how badly I embroidered it. I mean, how badly I long armed it. So, Chris, that's what I'm gonna do. Is I'm gonna, like I said, when I come back to get ready and get set up, so I can join everybody, I think I may go ahead and stitch that M out to see. But you set it to where it's gonna do all of the tack downs and everything for all of the letters, and then come back and do the final stitching after everything. And if that's the case, that means that for me to do just the M, I'm gonna have to like skip through and fast forward to some of it. I thought about that too, because I think I even have a purple blend one. Let's see if I've got one with a gold and purple and all. But okay, guys, I'm so glad y'all joined me. Thank you so much. Um, if I decide I'm gonna come on again before the weekend is over, I'll go ahead and do like I did this time, and I'll try to um I'll try to do the schedule in there instead of just popping on. But I'll go ahead and try to schedule it to let people know if I end up with enough time to get it in, to get in another live. I have a class that I'm taking that I need to get finished, get a lot of more work done on it. And then I'm still like grading papers and stuff for the school. So I need to get it caught up too. So I'm not sure I'm going to have time to come back on and do a live. I may end up having to just, take the time and work on getting this cleared myself. But either way, I want to get this done. No, Chris, you don't have to do any more. I have it. You did enough with it. I don't mind. I can go ahead. I mean, I'll just push through the buttons. It won't take me but a second to go through and pick out what I need to pick out. And I'm not even going to do it in Sew What Pro. I'm just going to do it on the machine. I'm going to load it on the machine, and I'm just going to skip through it on the machine. All right. Thank you guys for watching.